Okay, all right. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear my voice? Please type in the chat so that you can hear my voice. Right, is my voice clear? Okay, thank you. Okay, for those who just entered, all right, please go to the column and get your attendance ticked, okay? And the password is the same like last week, right? So DPC1 is for group. DPC1, your attendance password is DPC1. DPC2, your attendance password is DPC2. Mixed Tangsi, your password is Mixed Tangsi. The same password, okay? Right, so get your attendance clicked. All right. So we'll give your friends a few more minutes. Okay, again, I'm so sorry. We have to have this night class again. This week is the last week for the inbound outbound program. So I'm so sorry because during the daytime I'm very busy with programs with the international students, especially from Philippines. Hopefully we can begin our normal classes next week face to face. Okay, inshallah. All right. So okay, we have 58 people. We just wait for the rest to join in. Sir, I want to ask about something. Sure, go on. Sorry, DPC 2. Yes, Fatin Nabila. Proceed asking while we are waiting for the rest to join in. Okay, 59. Okay, we have 59. Hi, sir. Hi, Salat. Yes, Salat. How's that? Okay, that's a very familiar name. Okay, right. Thank you for the likes. Make sure to hit the like button. All right, for those who are not familiar with my channel yet, please like, share, comment. All right. Due date assignment is on 13th or 19th. Okay, hold on a second. So, according to our class, which group are you, Fatin Nabila? DPC1, DPC2, or Mixed Tangsi? DPC1, DPC2, or DPC2. Okay. So according to my list here, DPC2, your submission is on the 19th of October. Okay, for the video, right? 19th of October. Okay, right, 19th, 19. Okay, all right. All right, 79 people. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, I think we can begin. Okay, alright. Kepada yang baru join, jangan lupa untuk klik attendance dekat kolam ya. Alright, make sure to take your attendance at kolam. Okay, we'll wait 3 more minutes. Okay, thank you, sir. Alright, welcome. Okay, so the first note for tonight is the PDF one, which is week 5 on the chapter attending interview. Okay, right, I've already shared the notes in the WhatsApp group, so just open your notes now. Okay, right, password as usual. Yes, betul, Leon Cromwell, right? It's the same password for the attendance. Okay, let's begin without further ado. So for tonight, we'll be talking about interviews. Now, interview is a huge thing, or so should I subscribe? Please do so. Right? If you have not subscribed to my channel, please. So because why? I will leave my videos on my YouTube channel. So if you guys need to come and check and watch again, you can just log into my channel and find the videos, right? So if you do subscribe, it's easier for you to that you can come back and check the videos. I will put the videos on YouTube. So if you need already subscribed. Okay, thanks, Leon. Right? So that all the videos so far, I think we have 3 videos from our previous classes. So it's still on YouTube. So if you guys missed last week's class or you're not sure what was explained last week, you can just go back to my videos and watch the videos. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Right. So the interview. Okay. So for the interview, now interviews are a huge thing. Now, if you still remember from last week, we were discussing about how to write resumes and also how to write cover letters, right? For those who were not asleep, Okay, all right. So the function again. I'm going to ask you the same question. What is the function of a resume and a cover letter? Please write your answers in the chat below. What is the function of a resume and a cover letter? I want to see if you guys still remember the tips that I gave last week. So what's the function of the resume? To get a job? No, Amalin, you were not listening. You were not listening, Amalin. Ni hao, how. All right. What is the function of a resume and a cover letter? Is it to get a job? And wrong. Very good, Khairina Izzati. You are the winner. It's so that you can get an interview. Very good. Remember? 4 yes. It's very good. Good. Okay, Aina, Julia, Shahmi, Nur Jasmine, Ezrin. Okay, betul. Hati Najwa, betul. Right? So don't fall asleep during class. Okay, right. So the function of a resume and a cover letter is to get an interview or to secure an interview. Okay, so tonight let's say for example you have passed the first stage, which is the screening stage, which means your resumes have been accepted and they have offered you an interview. Now the next step for the interview. Okay, for the first slide on interview, okay, please check your notes. What are the learning objectives? Now, number 1, you should acknowledge the types of interview. Number 2, anticipate the questions asked during interview. And 3, know the do's and the don'ts during interview. Okay, right? So focus. Okay, so these are the 3 things that we will cover for tonight. Acknowledge the types of interview. You need to know what are the types of interview. Anticipate the questions. You need to know what kind of questions might be asked. And also you have to do and things that you don't do during interview. Okay, right. So let's go on to the next slide. The definition of an interview. The definition of an interview. All right. A formal meeting of people face to face, especially for consultation. Okay, and a formal meeting of people face to face, especially for consultation. Now, you might be lucky, right? Some people have face to face interviews. In some cases, right now, you have online interviews. Yes, they do. We do have online interviews. Okay, so you have to be very careful, and so that you know which or what kind of interview that you will be involved later on. Okay. Right. If you are going to be interviewed face to face, it's not going to be a problem. If it's going to be an online interview, you need to find a really quiet spot. Okay? Do not do an interview at a cafe, for example, while having lunch at Starbucks. Okay? No can do. You need to find a quiet place. And you need to wear proper attire. If it's an online interview, does it mean that you can wear anything you want? No. It still has to be formal. Okay? Right, next page. The purposes of interview or an interview. Number 1, to find out whether the candidate can really do the job and fit into the company or organization. Number 2, the interviewer will assess your qualifications, skills, capabilities, appearance, manners, the way you ask and answer questions, and your attitude. Now, if you still remember in our class last week and a few weeks ago, I mentioned that. Now, when you go for interviews, are academics important? Yes, they are very important. But please do remember that it's not all about academics. Okay? Let's say if your academic results are so-so, but if you are an outstanding person, people still hire you. Do you understand me? Because they will basically, when you give them your resume and your cover letter, okay, you have given them a glimpse of who you are. Okay, they know who you are, they know your interests, they know your experience, they know your academic, but they don't know you as a person yet. And the only way for them to know who you really are is during the interview. Okay, right? So to say that academic isn't important, no, it is still important, but does it mean that if your academic is good, you'll still get the job? No. If your academic is good, but you don't prevail as a person, you still don't get the job. Okay? So interviews are very important because the interviewer will assess your skills, your capabilities, your appearance, your manners. Okay. It's so unfortunate that we're doing this online. I would want maybe next week, all right? Hopefully next week, if we have the time, I can show you some tips when it comes to doing interviews. What should you do in interview? How you knock the door? How you sit at a chair? All of this has to be taken into consideration when you are attending an interview. Now you have to remember, some people don't get a job because they forgot how to open the door properly. It's true. You don't get a job because you don't know how to open the door properly. Apa saya lupa. Attendance apa? Attendance tengok group Dayan pula dah Diana memang salah yang keluar. Diana tengok group mana. Kalau Diana di PC1, password dia di PC1 macam biasa. Thank you Leon. Right. Okay, next page. The types of interview. Alright, now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 types of interview. There are 7 types of interview. Number 1, one-to-one interview. Okay. Number 2, panel interview. Number 3, multi-level interview. Number 4, group interview. Number 5, telephone interview. Number 6, lunch dinner interview. Number 7, online interview. We'll go one by one. So you might be, if you are lucky, you might be going through any one of these types of interview. Okay, what is a one-to-one interview? Now, one-to-one interview is when an interviewer interviews an interviewee, and they normally have chit-chat, not structured, skill-based, specific job-related questions. Now, when is it going to be a one-to-one interview? If that person is really interested in you, if the company is interested in you, and then when you go for that interview, it's a one-to-one session, right? Now, this is a good start, which means what? Which means if they call you one-to-one, they are really interested in you. And it's going to be more like a chit-chat session, but they're going to ask you really specific questions about your job. So if you do get called for an interview and it's a one-to-one session, it's either, in some cases, one-to-one normally happens if it's the final interview. You might have 2 interviews or 3 interviews. If you pass the first interview, you pass the second interview, the last interview might be one-to-one. In some cases, you might be interviewed by the CEO, one-to-one, or with the Datuk, for example. Okay, so it's like having chit-chat, not structured, but it's skill-based. They will ask you specific questions about the job. Okay. Number 2, panel interview. Panel interview is when you have 2 to 3 panels and 1 interviewee. And it's normally structured, skill-based, problem-solving, and formal. If you get a panel interview, if you are interviewed by 2-3 people, you might be asked questions about how to solve a problem. They give you a situation and then you have to solve the problem. Okay, this is why when you go for interviews, you have to be very careful. And the best thing is, if you are called for an interview session, you need to ask the receptionist. Kalau boleh lah, go up to the receptionist and tell them, excuse me, may I know what type of interview is it today? Boleh dia kena beritahu. Ini panel interview ke, one-to-one interview ke, group interview ke? Okay. So tanya dekat receptionist supaya you ready, so that you are ready. If you go to the receptionist table and then she or he tells you this is a one-to-one interview, okay, then that person inside is going to be a VVIP. You understand me? Okay. If you go up to the receptionist and then they tell you, right, excuse me, may I know what kind of interview is this? And then if she replies, oh, sure, sir, this is a one-to-one interview. So this means inside that room is someone very, very, very important, which means don't play around. They might be really interested in you. Okay? Right. Number 3, multi-level interview. Now, different level and have 2 to 3 stages. Every stage have a different a typo there. Every stage has different questions and requires a very well prepared knowledge. Multi-level interview is not multi-level marketing. Okay, tak sama. Okay, multi-level interviews is Normally if you're going for a job, selalunya kalau yang saya cerita kat sini, kalau kerja kerjaan lah, kalau kerja kerjaan selalunya interview dia multi level interview. Maksudnya apa? It means for the first interview you'll be called in groups, maybe 5, maybe 6, and then for the second interview you'll be called in threes, right? 3 orang je dipanggil sekali masuk. And maybe the last interview, it might be a one-to-one interview. So ini dinamakan sebagai multi-level interview. Most companies, or especially if it's a post that is being advertised throughout Malaysia, memang dia akan pakai multi-level interview. Especially kalau kerja kerjaan lah. Sebab apa? Sebab ramai yang minta. Bila ramai yang minta, dia akan tapis. Okay? So what will happen? If it's in a multi-level interview, if you walk in the interview room, you don't sit properly, you don't introduce yourself properly, that's it. You will not be called for the second interview. You need to treat every single interview seriously. Okay, this is serious stuff, right? I'm not joking around. This is serious stuff. Okay, number 4 is group interview. Now, a special interviewing situation where several candidates at one time is also known as a mass interview. Now, this group interview, which I mentioned just now, what happens in a group interview? Well, basically, you'll be called in together. Now, in this interview, you cannot be quiet. If there is an opportunity for you to open up your mouth, and when I say open up your mouth, bukan bunga aja tak lah. Maksud saya, if you see the slightest opportunity for you to say something, then go for it. Do you understand me? Ya memang kalau kita dalam group interview, kita kena berebut dan kita kena tunjulkan diri. You need to put yourself ahead of the rest. Okay, this is how it works. If you keep quiet and keep telling to yourself, never mind, I'll explain later. Never mind, I'll explain after him. Never mind, I'll go last. Sekali masa dah habis. Sekarang kadang-kadang they call you in group interviews. They purposely call you in group interviews because they want to see you compete. Dia nak tengok kita bertanding. Who really wants this job? Who wants this really bad? So if you keep quiet and keep telling yourself an opportunity. So if you the slightest opportunity for you to jump in during that conversation, then go for it. Okay? Go for it. But don't overpower. You know overpower? Mentang-mentang saya cakap macam tu, sepanjang 20 minit tu dipotong habis semua lewat. Jangan. Macam tu tak boleh. Okay? Tak boleh macam tu. Itu namanya shock sendiri. Nanti orang pun tak nak juga macam tu. Maksudnya dia ni tak boleh buat kerja dia ni. Kerja nak potong, nak cantas orang je. Okay. So, kena berpada-pada. Pandai. Kena pandai. You need to be smart and intelligent when to intercept someone talking. Okay? Right. Number 5, telephone interview. Now, an initial phone call from the employer, it could be one of their human resource people wanting to ask you a series of questions that will help them decide if they want to bring you in face-to-face for discussion. Now, SS, betul. Yes, Syami, ingat jangan SS. Okay. Number 5 is a new thing nowadays. Not a new thing. It's actually dah lama dah, tapi sekarang dia jadi trend. Telephone interview. Telephone interview ni yang paling bahaya. Dia call, kan? Kita tak jawab satu. Dia akan call sekali, 2 kali je. Lepas tu kalau kita tak jawab, dia tak call dah. Remember that. If you receive a call that is a phone number, and you are, let's say for example, after you submitted your resume, tiba-tiba dapat call, kena pastikan jawab. Ataupun mungkin dia akan email dan bagi tahu bila nak call. If they email you and inform you when they want to call, make sure to find a quiet spot. Janganlah dah tahu orang tu nak call pukul 2, pergi duduk kat dapur, mak tengah tumbuk belacan, buat sambal pungpang. Tu namanya cari pasal. Okay? Alright, jangan. Do not. Mom, stop playing ML. Go into your room and be quiet. Okay. Because you need that quiet spot, because you don't know what type of questions will they ask. And if they find that your surrounding is too noisy, it's going to be a huge problem for you, because it's as if you don't respect them, because they have mentioned earlier or they have informed you that they are going to call you for an interview, but you don't treat it seriously. That's going to be a problem. Tak boleh. Okay. So kalau telefon interview, kena ingat, This is an interview before the face-to-face. If they think you are qualified for the face-to-face session, then they will call you. That's why they call through a telephone interview, just to want to be sure. Which means apa? Okay, can anyone tell me, if they are going to call you for an interview, how do they acknowledge, or how do they basically judge you? Siapa tahu? How do they judge you just by talking on the telephone? Macam mana? Can anyone tell me? If I'm going to call you for an interview, right? I'm going to call you. What are you expecting? What do you expect to be asked? Pernah terfikir tak? Dia nak tengok kita bila cakap kat phone, kita boleh tahu we can actually know whether this person is confident, if he talks well, semuanya akan menjadi faktor. Kalau kata jawab call pun gagap, ada masalah. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hi, I am from Sapura Holding. Could I please talk to Mr. Khairul? Yes, Khairul, Khairul here. Yes, Khairul here. Yes. Khairul. Okay, I'm Khairul. Okay. Yes, very good. Aina Syama. The charisma, the confidence. They want to hear that in your voice. Okay, in your voice. So, tapi bila dah dengar karisma tu, janganlah pula buat suara-suara yang terlampau karisma sangat. Buat biasa, tetapi biar bunyi confidence. Kalau dia tanya, excuse me, may I speak to Mr. Khairul? Yes, my name is Mr. Khairul. How can I help you, sir? I am from Sapura Holding. I informed you earlier about this telephone interview. Yes. I am ready for the interview. Okay, kena bagi nampak berkarisma. Jangan gopoh, relax, chill. Jangan macam seolah-olah terkejar-kejar macam nak ambil order dekat Subway. Jangan, okay? Alright, ataupun tengah macam terkejar-kejar nak pergi tahan kencing, nak pergi tandas. Jangan. Okay? Make sure it's relaxed, okay? This is if this is a telephone interview. Number 6, online interview. Now, when it's an online interview, it's a form of online research. It's a form of online research method. It takes many of the methodological issues raised in traditional face-to-face interviews and transfers these online with some key differences. Example, webcam jobs, interviews, online job interview system. Okay, if you are going to be interviewed by a company that is, let's say, for example, in a different state, they know that, for example, you live in Kedah, so the company is in KL, and they want to have a quick interview. They might say, all right, never mind, you don't have to come to KL, we'll do an online interview. When you are going to do an online interview, many people make the mistake of not readjusting the place for the interview. Tahu tak, the place? Dia tak check dekat bilik mana. Okay, kena check arah cahaya matahari daripada mana, glare. Kalau kita, if the window is behind me and it is really bright, and if you have the laptop facing you, then in the image we only see a ghost of you. It's black. We don't. So pastikan glare. Kalau kata bilik tu gelap, letaklah lampu ke ring, light ring ke apa semua tu. Sebab apa? Dia akan beri kesan kepada apa yang orang nampak. You have to remember, if it's going to be an online interview, people will basically judge you based on what they see from the camera. Sebab tu kena lap dulu supaya tak kabur. If your let's say, for example, if your mic has problems, make sure you have a wireless microphone so that when you answer questions, it is crystal clear. Bak kata orang Penang, crystal clear. Okay, everything is crystal clear. Kalau tak, dia anggap kita tak serius. Okay? So make sure if it's going to be an online interview, everything is based on what they see and what they hear. Okay? Alright, so pastikan kamera tip-top, microphone tip-top. Okay, number 7, lunch dinner interview. Now, to evaluate their social skills and see how the candidate handle themselves under pressure, it provides the interviewer with a chance to check out your communication and interpersonal skills. Okay, as well as your table manners in more casual environment than an office setting. Ada juga orang dipanggil interview dekat masa lunch. Kadang-kadang dia tak sebut interview pun, dia kata nak ajak belanja lunch, nak jumpa. Sebenarnya tu interview. Betul. Dia kata, Cik, saya nak mudahkan kita punya perbincangan, saya ingat kita nak saya jumpa Cik dekat restoran sekian. Okey. Maksudnya apa? Dia memang sahaja nak test kita. nak tengok kita punya social skills macam mana, nak tengok bila kita dalam keadaan di tempat sosial macam mana kita beraksi, macam mana kita pegang garpu dengan sudu. Kan sedang pegang sudu salah, garpu salah, potong macam ni, dia potong macam ni. Kan pernah kan dia nak tengok sebenarnya kita punya ethics. In some cases they might invite you to a fancy restaurant. Betul, sebab tu kena belajar table manners. Sudu sup lain, sudu kuih lain, garpu kek lain, garpu ayam lain. Ni kalau dia ambil garpu untuk kek, dia makan cocok dekat ayam, fail. Dia pergi ambil sudu sup, buat makan nasi, fail. Nampak? Ada, memang ada. Tapi tak semualah. Cuma nak bagi tahu memang ada kes-kes interview yang macam tu. Okay, not fancy. Right? So it's all about your skills. They talk about your skills. Okay, itu yang bahagian pertama. Saya ada kat sini, the 7 types of interviews which you need to know. Okay, just a cafe. I see Kushes. So even at the cafe pun dia akan tanya, dia akan tengok di sepanjang, walaupun dekat cafe sekalipun, even though it's at a cafe, they will basically look at you from head to toe. Bila kita kat cafe, kita duduk macam mana, kan? Ada duduk macam ni ke, kan? Duduk macam ni ke, duduk macam ni ke, dia cakap duduk macam ni ke, dia akan tengok semua benda tu, right? They will observe every single thing, how you react, because you know why? Because when we are at our most comfortable state, we don't realize that we make mistakes. Dia nak tengok kita punya habit. Ada setengah orang tu habit suka cungkil gigi kan. So dia tak perasan you duduk cungkil gigi, you pick your teeth, duduk cungkil gigi pakai kayu tu kan. Padahal dalam interview ni tak perasan rupanya interviewer tu tengah test. Yang tengah test. Okay, kalau kata anda ada kurap sekalipun bawah baju ni, boleh tahan lah, walaupun shock garu kan, garu. Sebenarnya ini satu ujian. Kalau ada contoh kalau ada kurap, tahan, jangan garu. Jangan bagi menampak kita punya tabiat suka menggaru lah apa semua tu. Suka gentil apa, kalau yang perempuan lah kadang-kadang suka gentil rambut, suka betulkan tudung lah, sikit-sikit awning. Right, jangan. So sebenarnya dia saja nak tengok kita boleh tak boleh. Betul? Kalau siapa yang mesti kena. Okay, tapi tak semua interview macam ni lah. Cuma kadang-kadang in some cases, if it's a high profile job where you need to meet clients, where you need to represent the company if you go out for a lunch for your client. So you need people who have they need people who have really good table manners, ethics. Are we supposed to talk formally for a lunch? Yes. Kena. Good question, Sophia. Treat it as an interview. Jangan pula buat macam cakap kedai mamak. You better. Janganlah. Okay. Right. Okay. Jangan terikut kan. Jangan best bro. You best bro. Okay, tak boleh macam tu. Ini still interview. Walaupun nampak cakap kedai mamak, tapi jangan tertipu sebab dia saja nak test. Saya saja nak test. Okay. Alright. So these are the 7 types of interviews. Okay. Now I want you guys to open up the second note which I gave, which is the PowerPoint. And now I'm going to give you guys, or I'm going to explain successful interviewing tips and techniques. Betul. Yes. Very good. Thank you for the comment. Right? Kushes, yes. Ini bukan jumpa kawan. Ini jumpa bos. Okay? Ini jumpa bos. Okay. So now we are going to look at the successful interviewing tips and techniques. Okay. So the first one is the interview dah bagi tahu tadi. Alright. Now, look at the second slide. The interview procedure. The interview procedure frequently includes questions on your skills and experience, behavior-based questions, opportunity for you to ask questions of the interviewer. Now you have to remember, nowadays, the past 5-7 years, companies are starting to ask behavior-based question. Dia akan tanya soalan-soalan yang berkaitan dengan behavior. Dia nak tahu kita ni okey ke tak okey. You understand me? Tahu tak okey tu macam mana? Dia nak tahu kita ni okey ke tak okey. Sekarang ni dah ada psychological question, mental health question, behavior-based question. Dia akan tanya. They'll give you a situation and then they'll need you to solve it. and they will see if you can solve the problem. Okay, be careful. Be careful, right? Okay, next slide. So, keys to successful interview: preparation before the interview. Now, before you go for an interview, you have to know yourself. Okay? When I say know yourself, let me ask you this question. Do you know yourself? People? Do you know yourself? If you know yourself, give me a like. Do you know yourself? Do you know yourself? Give me a like if you do. Ada tak? That I know myself. I really know myself. Ada tak siapa-siapa sini? Which means you really understand who you are. If you don't, or if you don't know, then of course, for Syami is of course. The best thing is you need to ask your best friend. You need to ask your best friend. Okay, ask your friend seriously, like, man or bro, I need your help. I'm gonna go for an interview next week. Can you tell me what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Tanya kawan, best friend yang boleh diharap. Best friend yang boleh diharap, bukannya best friend yang condemn. Kalau bagi best friend yang condemn tak ada guna. You need to find someone, your bestie, BFF ke, GFF ke, GFF okay? GFF tak ada. BFF, best friend forever. GFF tak ada, pandai-pandai je sebab nak tambah. Apa GFF tu apa? Girlfriend forever, mana ada. Okay, alright. So tanya BFF yang boleh dipercayai, people who you can trust. Ask them, hey man, I need to go for an interview next week, but I'm kind of lost about myself. Can you tell me what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Okay, once kita dah tahu apa kita punya kekuatan, yang itu kita sembunyikan. Sahabat bukan kawan. Betul, sahabat kawan. Sahabat yang sanggup bersusah payah bersama kita tu sahabat. Kawan datang dan pergi. Okay. Okay, alright. So, know yourself. Okay, pertama kalau kau bercakap, aku tengok kaki kau tak pernah duduk diam. Kaki mesti nak kena bestie saya semua tak pernah serius. Kena cari. Sebab kadang-kadang kalau tanya mak ayah, sebab sekarang ni kita tak duduk dengan mak ayah. Yang duduk dengan kita kawan kita. Tanya kawan, bila dalam present dalam kelas, aku ni macam mana? Tanya. So kalau kawan cakap, aku tengok kau ni, kalau kau present, kaki kau tu tak pernah duduk diam. Mesti nak kena, kaki tu kena gerak, kan? Gerak kaki, ataupun tangan mesti nak kena goyang, ataupun main pen. Benda-benda macam ni adalah satu distraction. If you go for interviews, kita masih lagi buat benda ni, it's a habit, tabiat. Kena stop. Sebab kita tak perasan. Kita tak perasan yang kita buat benda tu. Okay? Right? Or if your friend says, okay, satu lagi, when I look at you, every time you panic, kau mesti nak garu. Mesti nak, ataupun nak tarik telinga ke apa ke. Sebab ni apa? Adalah habit. So jangan buat masa interview. So if you can identify what your weaknesses are, do not do them during the interview. And if you know what your strengths are, then do it during the interview. Okay? Alright. Research the employer. Ini ramai orang tak buat. Kena buat homework. Kena buat akilah. Alamak, tak ada BFF rasa. Kena cari BFF. Kena cari. Mesti ada BFF. Kena cari BFF. Okay? Right? Saya punya BFF sampai sekarang. Kita orang berkawan dari tingkatan 1 sampai sekarang dah beranak pinak bagai pun masih lagi BFF. Ini BFF. Ini betul BFF. Ini betul sahabat. Saya sakit pun walaupun jauh sekalipun kami duduk, tapi dia akan datang. Kalau dia sakit, walaupun 500 km jauh sekalipun, saya akan pergi cari dia. Okay. Dulu-dulu masa belajar, masa ada kerja, kalau ada siapa-siapa sengkit, dia sengkit, kita pass dia duit. Dia sengkit, kita pass. Kita pass duit dengan alasan nak minta tau. Bukan pinjam. Right? Sahabat-sahabat juga, betul. Kita bagi duit tu bukan niat untuk pinjam tau. Bukan nak pinjam ke dia, kita bagi duit dekat dia. Itu betul sahabat. Bukannya, bayar balik esok tau. Itu bukan sahabat lagi. Sahabat ni, bila tengok kawan dia susah, dia bagi duit. Terus tak cakap banyak. Dia bukan kata, aku pinjamkan kau RM200 tunai. Tak ada. Dia bagi je duit tu. Dia tak boleh cakap. Sama itu pula pada kita nak bayar ke tidak. Okay. Itu betul sahabat. Itu sahabat namanya. Okay. Right. So, what I was saying. Banyak pula menggomel ni. Okay. Research the employer. when you research the employer, right, this is the biggest mistake which many people do. You go for an interview, but so maybe we can BFF, right? You know, you go for an interview, but you don't do your homework. Faham tak? Macam ni lah, macam contoh macam Syahmi ni lah, nak cari girlfriend, tapi dia tak buat homework. Tak kaji dulu nama penuh apa, nama bapa kawan tu apa, belajar program apa. Kan? Cuba buat homework. Lain sikit lah pergi Syahmi. Okay? Tiba-tiba Syahmi yang kena. Okay, maksud saya apa? What I mean is, if you are going to go for an interview, make sure you do your homework. If you are going to attend an interview by Sapura Holding, buka internet tu, cari siapa CEO sekarang, siapa head of department, siapa jaga bahagian kewangan, projek latest apa. So kita kena tahu. I made the biggest mistake of my life when I was your age, after fresh SPM. And then I applied for engineer untuk MAS masa tu. Sebab saya asrama dulu aliran sains. Okay. So saya minta untuk engineer PAS latihan, dia training ataupun training untuk jadi engineer MAS. Okay, untuk bahagian maintenance. So dia panggil interview. Kita pergi interview. Sebab betul saya masih lagi budak hingusan. So bila saya pergi interview tu, saya tak prepare apa-apa pun. Saya tahu itu syarikat MAS. Sekali bila saya pergi interview tu, dia tanya soalan, dia tanya saya ingat sampai sekarang lagi soalan tu. Dia tanya saya, apakah kapasiti penumpang Boeing 747? Tenganga. Kita homework tak buat. Apakah kapasiti Boeing 737? Apakah kapasiti penumpang Boeing 777? Apakah saiz tangki minyak Boeing 777? Berapa enjin? Apakah brand enjin Boeing 747? Dia tanya benda teknikal. Saya tak mampu nak jawab. Lepas tu dia kata apa? Macam mana kamu nak kerja kat sini? Pasal kapal terbang kamu tak pasal kapal terbang pun tak tanya. Apa kamu tak buat homework? Dia pun tanya lagi, siapakah CEO MAS pada masa tu? Haram, tak ada jawab. Dia kata, macam ni kamu nak minta kerja? Okay. So take it seriously. If you are going to be called for the interview, do your homework. Buat homework, kaji. Apakah vision company, apakah objective company, HQ dekat mana, company ni buka bila, dah berapa tahun beroperasi, berapa branch dia ada. Janganlah pergi lenggang. Okay, sekali lenggang SS kan, sekali kena tanya tengah. Okay, alright. Number 3, practice. Ini memang macam biasa, kena practice. Dan of course, make a good impression. Yes, you need to leave a good impression towards the interviewer. Biar we start with a wow, we end with a wow. You start with a wow, you end with a wow. Okay? Alright, next slide. So what do you have to offer? Know yourself. Okay? So nanti malam ni, kejap lagi, kan, saya nak look at the second point. Identify 5 to 10 work or school experiences that demonstrates your skills and accomplishment. Tuliskan, senaraikan 5 ke 10 kemahiran yang anda telah capai ataupun yang anda ada. Apa dia? Tuliskan. Teamwork. Apa lagi? Confident. Apa lagi? Problem solver. Apa lagi? Fast learner. Apa lagi? Multitasking. Apa lagi? Can handle stress. Apa lagi? Can become a leader. Can become a team player. Apa lagi? Dedicated. Okay. Apa lagi? Content. So tuliskan. Cuba tuliskan balik nanti habis kelas nanti. Cuba tulis kalau ada 5 benda ataupun 5 top skills that you have. Kena tahu. Apakah 5 benda yang kita je ada? Kena tahu. Barulah kita boleh kembangkan. Alright. Yes, fast learner, multitasking, able to work under stress. Ada setengah orang tak boleh handle stress. Ada setengah company tu kerja dia memang sentiasa stress. So kalau you tak boleh handle stress, confirm dia tak akan ambil. Contoh yang company besar yang memang Contohnya macam DHL ke, kan. So benda-benda company besar ni memang stress sebab kita nak kejar deadline. Deadline bukan deadline, deadline. D-E-A-D, bukan D-E-A-T. Okay, D-E-A-D-L-I-N-E, deadline. Nak kejar tarikh. Okay, right. What do you want to do and where do you want to do it and how are you perceived by others? Okay, so ini untuk know yourself. Okay, right. So make sure you do it. Alright, do your research. Ini saya dah beritahu tadi. Okay, practice, practice, practice. Now, when you look at practice, right? Practice. You need to better prepare yourself for the interview as well as assist in conquering pre-interview anxiety. Practice is the key. Attend interviewing groups and view interviewing videos. Meet with a career counselor for a mock interview. Practice for the interviewing with a family or friends and practice. So, skill curve. I pernah nampak orang letak. Betul, skill. You have to identify what are the skills, right? Please, how do you do short stream? Sorry, Beast of Atex, I don't know what your question is about. You mean short videos or what? This is a live video, alright? Okay, we are having class right now. You can feel free to join in if you want, right? But I don't really know what you are wanting actually, right? So I guess this is a very random comment, okay? Alright, so watch interview videos on YouTube later on after class. Log on to YouTube and watch interview videos. Cuba tengok. Watch what are the do's, what are the don'ts of interviews, right? And if you can actually carry out a pre-interview. Do it with your friends, like I said. Do it with your BFF. Do it with your mom and dad. Say, Mom, Dad, I need your help. I have an interview next week. Can you guys become the interviewers and ask me these questions? And I want to do some practice. Okay? Kena buat. Okay? Alright. Proper attire. Ini ramai yang for this one, it's just an example of a few things which you should do and you should not do. Number one, the do. Wear conservative attire such as a dark coloured business suit. Pakai suit yang warna gelap. Jangan pakai suit dinner. Ini ada tak? Pergi interview pakai suit warna purple, warna orange, warna pink, purple polka dot, warna putih lah, warna light blue. Tak. Kalau pergi interview, suit tu mesti colour gelap. Black ataupun blue navy. Itu saja. Okay? Ataupun dark grey. Lain daripada tu jangan. Polish your shoes. Ada setengah kadang tak perasan pun. Pakai kasut tapi tak kilatkan. Kan? Nampak berabuk je. Dia kasut baru pinjam semalam dengan member. Tak pernah nak check. So kasut kena berkilat. Kasut bertali. Okay? Stick to a low business heel and shoe. Okay, ni kalau untuk perempuan pergi interview, pakai heel yang 2 inci cukup ataupun 3 inci. Jangan pakai yang 7, 8, 11, 16, 19 inci tu. Ingat, this is an interview, bukannya minggu fashion. Okay, ada yang pergi pakai kasut tumit tinggi yang melampau-lampau macam Spice Girl. Kenal lagi Spice Girl? Kalau tak kenal siapa tu Spice Girl, nanti buka dekat YouTube Spice Girl. Pakai tutup. For the ladies, pakai kasut yang tutup hujung jari. Jangan pakai sandal. Jangan pakai kasut yang tutup depan tapi nampak tumit. Tak boleh. Kena pakai kasut yang tutup habis. 2 inci, 3 inci cukup. Laki, kasut berkilat bertali. Okay, have hair neatly brushed and face shaved before interview. Rambut pastikan kemas macam biasa. Alright. Bring a portfolio or a briefcase. Bawa macam saya beritahu minggu lepas. Bawa portfolio ataupun briefcase. Jangan bawa bag. Jangan bawa bag laptop. Contohnya kan. Bawa bag laptop. Jangan. Bukan bag laptop yang kita nak bawa. Kita nak tengok adakah anda ready untuk bekerja. Kalau anda masih lagi bawa bag, apakah image-nya? Apakah image kalau kita bawa bag pergi kelas tu? What is the image? Can anyone write in the comment below? If you bring a normal backpack to an interview, what does it mean? Saya dah pernah beritahu dalam kelas pertama 2 minggu lepas, 3 minggu lepas. What does it mean? If you bring a backpack to an interview, maksudnya apa? Who can tell me? Who was listening in our first class? If you bring a backpack to interview, maksudnya apa? Very good. Tak ready nak kerja. Macam tak move on dari zaman sekelas. Betul. Nampak macam student. Tak ready nak kerja. Betul. So if you go for an interview, jangan bawa beg galas. Saya ulang, jangan bawa beg galas. Okay, right? I repeat, do not bring your bag or sling bag. Pastikan ada bag ataupun portfolio case yang transparent. Tak apa. Nak lagi best, bawa briefcase. Kalau perempuan, tapi saya bawa handbag. Okay, kalau bawa handbag, tak apa. Bawa handbag yang kecil. Handbag jangan yang besar gedabak tu. Yang boleh muat apa fire extinguisher tu. Jangan bawa yang tu. Jangan bawa bag yang boleh keluar macam-macam benda tu. Tak. Bawa bag yang kecil je. Yang besar macam ni, besar tapak tangan je. Yang cukup untuk letak kita punya purse dengan handphone. Cukup. Jangan bag yang besar tu. Right? Kalau you bawa bag besar tu pergi interview, maksudnya apa? Maksudnya you bukan nak pergi kerja, you nak pergi shopping. Okay. Right? Okay. So, bags pun sama juga. Kena serius. Kena cari pakai bag yang betul lah. InsyaAllah nanti minggu depan kalau kita dah face to face, saya akan bagi yang terperinci punya. Pakaian tu nak pakai macam mana. Okay. Okay. Apa lagi? Apa yang tak boleh? Wear bright coloured business suits, black, grey and pastel colours are most appropriate. Pakai bright colour, jangan pakai bright colour. Wear flashy accessories like watches, jewelry or excessive amounts of cologne, perfume or hair gel. Ni pun tak boleh juga. Jewelry. Jangan, kalau kita suka pakai tamring, jangan pakai tamring. Nak pakai cincin boleh, satu cukup. Kalau yang dah kahwin, pakai cincin kahwin. Kalau tak payah pakai. Lagi senang. Jangan pula you have a ring for every single finger. Penuh cincin. Betul dia cakap bunyi ketuk-ketak. Okey. Jangan pakai jam Maiden. Bukan pakai jam Maiden. Akil. Jangan pakai jam Casio yang getah tu. Kalau boleh, kalau dah kerja lain. If possible, masa interview cari jam yang nampak macam profesional. Yang bertali kulit ke, tali besi ke. Jangan pakai jam sukan, sport. Belum sesuai. Bukan tak boleh. Kalau dah kerja lain cerita. Nak pergi interview. Supaya orang nampak kita ni ready untuk jadi seorang yang profesional. Okay. Alright. Perfume pun jangan over sangat. Perfume bukanlah, tak perlulah mahal. Bukanlah saya kata kena pergi kedai cari jam besi yang harga RM3,000. Tak. Yang kopi A original pun tak apa. Beli kat TikTok pun tak apa. Jam besi tu tak apa. Jadi nampak professional. Orang tak tahu itu made in China ke apa tak. Tapi nampak professional. Nampak macam eksekutif. Okay. Okay. Right. Kalau beli yang kopi ori pun tak apa. Orang tak tanya. Orang nampak. Bila you pakai jam macam tu, dia akan menampakkan yang kita ni nampak corporate. Walaupun tak corporate. Corporate tau, bukan keparat. Okay. Nak bagi menampak corporate. So bila nak bagi menampak corporate, dia jam tu sama ada jam besi ataupun jam bertali yang kulit. Okay. So jangan pakai lagi jam-jam sport semua tu, yang health punya jam ataupun jam untuk kesihatan semua tu jangan pakai lagi. Kalau dah kerja pakai, interview jangan. Okay. Wear skirts and that reach above the knees. Okay, ni macam biasalah. Kalau yang non-Muslim, kalau anda pakai skirt, because we have a few Indians in the class, right? So, if you are going to wear skirt, pastikan skirt bawah lutut. Jangan pakai mini skirt. Okay, jangan pakai mini skirt. Pakai skirt bawah lutut kepada yang non-Muslim. Yang Muslim tu janganlah pakai skirt. Apa hal pula nak pakai skirt? Okay, alright. Okay, next slide. Keys to successful interview is during the interview is be prompt and prepared. Okay, be prompt and prepared maksudnya kita ready nak jawab soalan. You are ready to answer the questions. Jangan pula kita delay. If somebody asks you a question, can you tell me about yourself? Hold on sir, give me 5 minutes. Cik penyakit nama dia. No, be ready. Okay, which means if they ask you a question, you can answer it straight away, without dragging, without lagging, without pausing. Kalau yang posing ni masalah. Alright, Mr. Carol, thank you for coming to our interview. Can you please tell me about yourself? My name is Khairul Firdaus. Itu ada masalah. Okay, itu ada masalah. Sebab tu kena practice. Okay. Jangan pula pakai pauses ataupun filler. Tahu fillers? Bila bercakap tu, if you have fillers, yang suka filler ni yang bila cakap, my name is Khairul and I'm from UCMI. I have degree in logistics and management. I'm going for my practicum 6 months. Okay. Jangan buat macam tu. Please. Jangan. Itu banyak efek kat kita punya attitude. Kan? Tak ready. Nampak sangat tak ready. Nak bercakap pun tak ready, apatah lagi nak kerja. If you're not ready to speak in an interview, people can assume that you are not ready to work. Okay? Pose and body language. Now, when you sit, mungkin saya tak nampak tempat ni. Kalau kata bila kita duduk tu, nyender macam ni ke apa ke, nanti kita tunjuk minggu depan. Cara duduk. Okay? Cara salam. Minggu depan saya akan tunjuk. Okay? Answer the questions. And then closing the statements. Soalan kena jawab. Let's say, for example, if you can answer a question, sebab tak faham, minta, excuse me sir, could you please repeat the question? Cakap tahu. Jangan buat macam ni. If the question pops up, can you please explain to the disadvantages of blah 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 blah? Kita cakap, jangan buat macam tu. Kita orang Malaysia suka buat macam tu kan. Apa dia? Okay. Jangan. If you don't understand the question, ask them. Excuse me sir, could you please repeat the question? Or, excuse me sir, could you please rephrase the question? I am kind of lost. Or, I'm really sorry sir, I don't understand your question. Could you please repeat the question? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Tapi jangan sesekali buat, apa dia? Kan? Sebab itu akan jadi sangat-sangat annoying. Tahu? And it's very, very rude. Okay? Very rude. Okay. Be prompt and prepared. When I say be prompt and prepared, arrive 10 to 15 minutes before the scheduled interview time. Ini yang ramai orang buat silap. Dia nak pergi interview, tapi sehari sebelum interview tu, dia tak pergi check pun tempat tu kat mana. Sebab kadang-kadang kita tak tahu nak macam mana. Kita bukan nak expect apa tahu. Tempat tu ada parking. Kalau kita nak bawa kereta ke motor ke, kalau bawa kereta parking kat mana, berapa minit nak kena jalan kaki. Sebab the last thing that you would want to happen for an interview is you arrive late. Nampak tak? Dan sebelum anda dipanggil, mungkin dekat meja receptionist tu awal-awal dia dah tolak. Dia akan cakap, sorry sir, the interview is over. Sebab apa? Sebab kita 10 minit lambat. If you cannot arrive to your interview on time, then you can't do your work. Dia terus judge macam tu. Yes, kadang-kadang susah. Ataupun kalau kata anda tak bawa kereta, anda naik MRT ke, naik LRT ke, check daripada stesen ke MRT, LRT tu sampai tempat interview tu berapa minit. Sebab tu kena pergi 1 hari awal. That is why you have to go 1 day earlier. Traffic macam mana pagi-pagi? Jam ke tak jam? Jalan ni jam ke tak? Kan? Sebab apa? The last thing you want to happen is you arrive late for interview. Kena budget masa. Parking dekat mana? Kan? Kena budget. In some cases, for example like for those who sweat, yang jenis mudah, yang jenis berpeluh. Yang jenis berpeluh ni, kalau anda memang jenis berpeluh, I would advise you not to wear your t-shirt interview yet. Pakai t-shirt biasa je dulu. Sampai awal cari toilet salin. Nampak tak? Supaya bila sampai tak ada nampak macam kita ni basah kuyup baru lepas maraton. Ramai. Sebab tu saya kata anda kena kenali diri anda. Badan aku ni jenis berpeluh. Kalau kita ni jenis berpeluh, pastikan dalam tu pakai t-shirt satu. Tapi t-shirt dalam tu biarlah putih. Janganlah pula dalam tu pakai gambar Mariah Carey. Lepas tu pergi interview pakai baju warna putih. Nampak pula bayang-bayang. Aduh, pakai baju ada gambar Usain Bolt duduk macam ni. Kan, yang macam ni tu kan. Penuh tak ada. Lepas tu pakai baju warna terang. So nampak atas ni. Lepas tu kat belakang tulisan. Just believe in yourself. Okay. So sebab tu saya kata kalau anda kena faham juga macam kalau kata kita ni, if you are the type of person which sweat a lot, so my advice is go early, bring your attire, put it on a hanger, sampai dekat tempat interview tu cari tandas, baru salin. Sampai dekat toilet baru salin. Tapi kena pergi awal lah. Janganlah sampai lambat tu tak. Dah sampai semua lambat pula. Okay. Sebab tu saya kata kena plan betul-betul. Jangan buat main-main. Kena plan betul-betul. Okay. Turn off your phone. Kalau masa interview, phone tu kena off. Walaupun dah silent sekalipun, bising tau. Perasan tak? Do you guys notice that if it's on silent mode, dia bunyi vibrate. Mengganggu. Mengganggu. Okay, so off phone. Give a firm handshake, make eye contact and smile. Okay, ini saya akan tunjuk minggu depan. Macam mana kita nak salam kita punya future boss supaya kita tak memberi message yang salah. How do you shake your future boss's hand without giving the wrong signal? Dan yang next one, bring extra copies of your resume and a list of references. Ramai orang buat masalah, dia pergi interview, dia tak bawa extra copy resume. In some cases, the interviewer saja je nak test. Kita masuk je, dia bercakap, alright, can I have your resume? Lepas tu kita cakap, but I already gave it to you, the secretary outside. No, I want one now. Dah, macam mana? Mana nak cakap? Okay, that's the problem. Okay? Alright. So, when you go for interview,
we think that the Papa's business is working.
yeah. Thank you for telling them.
Thank you for telling them Papa's work.
Yes, I'm okay. Thank you.
Thank you, they're so waiting.
Please leave the room. Leave the room. Please. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Say bye. Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Okay. Alright.
I say so that I make a snake.
You make a snake.
They are making a slug. A
Okay.
sea slug.
Okay, dah. Cukup.
And so we
Okay. Say bye and go. Say bye and go.
bye. See you.
Alright.
I make your work.
You make it. Yes, you're making my work. Okay, you're disturbing me. Okay, go. Close the door, please. Okay, sorry Oh, kita angkat kamera pula dah. Okay. Iklan. Okay, iklan. Alright, apa tadi cakap tadi? La ilaha illallah, lupa dah. Okay, resume. Bawa extra copy. Bawa extra copy resume. Okay, good talking. Right. Okay, pastikan when you go for interview, dalam bag tu janganlah bag kosong. Okay, janganlah bag kosong. Pastikan dalam bag tu ada, you have extra copies of your resume. Because you don't know, in some cases, these people might just say, alright, I need your resume. Kalau kita tak ada, macam mana? If you say, oh sorry, I didn't bring any extra copy. Tell me, if you came for an interview and then your future boss asks for a resume and then you tell the person or you tell him, I'm sorry sir, I don't have a copy of my resume. Agak-agak, apakah perasaan bos tu? Kalau anda bos, anda tanya saya, can I have a copy of your resume? And I say, sorry, I didn't bring a copy of my resume. What does it mean? Tell me. If you're the boss, I come to the interview, you ask for a copy of the resume, right? But in this case here, I can give you a copy of the resume. What does it mean? Waalaikumsalam, Camelia. Right? What does it mean? Can anyone tell me? And anda boss, I come to the interview. You ask for a copy of the resume. I don't give it to you. And I say, I'm sorry, sir, but I don't have a copy of the resume. What does it mean? Right? What does it mean? Can anyone tell me? Cepat tak nak dengar komen anda. Apakah perasaan anda sebagai bos? Datang interview ni? Not ready. Yes. Very good. Mimi Nur. Not ready or serious for the job. Betul lah. You go for an interview job, for a job interview, but you are not ready. You're not taking it seriously. Tak ready untuk interview, betul. Tak ready untuk kerja. Tak prepare. Dan ramai orang buat. Okay, ramai orang buat. Yeah, he's not ready for the work. Okay? Alright. Tiba-tiba dia ada lag tak tadi? Tiba-tiba lag. Sorry ya. Okay. Right. Okay. So, we have other points which is poise and body language. Boleh baca lah eye contact macam mana. Jangan makan bubble gum masa interview. Even bubble gum masa interview. Kalau kelas sekalipun, dalam kelas saya perasan ada yang makan bubble gum. No bubble gum. Gula tak apa. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is it clear? Testing 1. Is it clear? Lexus, alamak, nge-lag. Hold on a second. Hello, hello, testing, testing. Alright, how about now? Lagging? Okay. Alright, dah nak habis sikit lagi ni. Alright. So answering question, pose body, ni boleh, ini untuk extra reading nanti. Alright. So nanti yang untuk remaining notes yang saya bagi tu, tolong bacakan. Okay. But the most important thing I want you to remember for tonight is that interviews are very important. Okay. Next week, once we have our physical class, saya akan tunjukkan beberapa contoh pakaian yang sesuai untuk interview. Okay, kena bagi tahu. I have to tell you. I have to explain to you the proper attire for interview. Kadang-kadang if you wear the wrong attire, you might not even be called for an interview. Dia tengok je, dia cakap tak payah, you tak payah masuk. Ada, right? There are some cases where you come for an interview, but because of the way you dress, you're gonna halau. Right? So next week, in class, I'll explain in detail once we have our face-to-face class, apa yang perlu dipakai waktu interview yang sebetulnya. Okay, insyaAllah. Okay? Alright. So, as for tonight, I just explained about basically what is an interview, what are the do's, what are the types of interviews, and so on and so on. I hope it's clear for you guys. Okay? Alright. So, before we end the class, any questions? Any questions, everyone? Clear? Crystal clear, right? Is everything crystal clear? Yes, yes, right? Okay, so yeah, I'm just waiting for your comments just to see if you guys are clear. Clear, sir. Okay, all right. So I guess tomorrow no class because I'll be the MC for a program for the inbound. I will see you guys. Semua sekali saya akan jumpa hari Khamis malam. Mixed Tangsi DPC 1, DPC 2. We will continue with the chapter on interview on Thursday night. Sir, when we learn minutes meeting format for the assignment, we will learn it next week. Okay? Minutes tu minggu depan. Okay? Right? Ataupun untuk minutes, okay? Boleh Google dulu. Minutes ni ada macam-macam format. Okay? Right, Thursday 8:30 PM. Yes, correct. Okay. For minutes of a meeting, buka Google, dia ada bermacam-macam format. Boleh ambil je yang mana-mana, tak kisah. Okay. Right, for the minutes, buka je Google and check. Right, template ke, cuba tengok examples of minutes. Ada berlambak-lambak, ada bermacam-macam jenis, tak ada yang salah. Okay, asalkan konten dia jelas. Okay. Right, so make sure you guys check on the minutes of a meeting. And I hope you guys are starting to record your videos, alright, for the meeting interview. For the meeting presentation. Okay, so I guess that's all. I'll meet all of you guys, Mixed Tangsi DPC 1, DPC 2 on Thursday night at 8:30 PM. Hopefully, this will be the last online class. Next week, I will see you guys face to face, inshallah. Okay, all right. So that's all for tonight. Be safe, stay safe, and I'll see you guys again in our next class. All right, have a nice night. Assalamualaikum. Thank you guys. All right, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Alright, done subscribe. Thank you for subscribing, you guys. Alright, watch my videos too if you can. Alright, welcome. Thank you, everyone. Waalaikumsalam. Alright, have a nice day. Bye-bye. Okay, dah boleh keluar. Saya nak tutup dah. Okay. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you, guys. Thanks for those who commented my videos. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thanks, welcome, welcome, Felicia. Okay, all right. Bye bye, you guys. Have a nice day.